The question is asked, if we are so convinced that we should tithe, we need to explain Deuteronomy 14, verse 22 through verses number 26. Now, beloved, do not be deceived by these your men of God, especially Mr. Abel Damina. He's so dangerous. I don't like other false prophets, but with him, he's very deadly, dangerous. Now, let us explain Deuteronomy chapter 14, verses 22. In the Bible, there are two types of tithe and offerings. Alright, so the type of tithe which we find in Deuteronomy chapter 22 is a tithe which even today is in effect. Let us read Deuteronomy 14:22 says, "You shall truly tithe all the increase of your grain that the field produces year by year, and you shall eat before the Lord your God in the place where he chooses to make his name abide. The tithe of your grain and your new wine and your oil of the firstborn of your heads and your flock, that you may learn to fear the Lord your God always. But if the journey is too long for you, so that you are not able to carry the tithe, or if the place where the Lord your God chooses to put his name is too far from you, when the Lord your God has blessed you, then you shall exchange it for money. Take the money in your hand and go to the place which the Lord your God chooses, and you shall spend that money for whatever your heart desires, for oxen or sheep, for wine or similar drink, for whatever your heart desires. You shall eat there before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your household. You shall not forsake the Levites who is within your gates, for he has no part nor inheritance with you." Alright, so this is the second tithe, the tithe which must be eaten by the giver. And we understand that in Numbers chapter 18, verses number 21, the Lord said, "Behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tithe in Israel as an inheritance in return for the work which they perform, the work of the tabernacle of the meeting." So the tribe of Levi also was supposed to be given tithe. That is the same tithe which many people confuse with the tithe in Deuteronomy chapter 14. So the tithe in Deuteronomy chapter 14 was used to support widows and Levites, of course. So those people who wouldn't manage to support themselves to have food, God had provided means for them at least to be supplied with food. So this same tithing, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 14, it was supposed to be done 2 years at church, at the tabernacle, at the sanctuary. Then the third year, you are supposed to eat your tithe at your home. You invite guests. That was the purpose of this tithe. So this tithe is still in effect. But the question is, should we tithe today? And the answer is yes. Let us notice in Romans chapter 15. Romans chapter 15, verses number 26 and verses number 27. The Bible reads, "For it pleased those from Macedonia and Achaia to make a certain contribution for the poor among the saints who are in Jerusalem. It pleased them indeed, and they are their debtors. For if the Gentiles have been partakers of their spiritual things, their duty is also to minister to them in material things." So now Paul tells us to say, since the Gentiles, or since the people, we are benefiting from their men of God, from the poorest, from the saints among the poor, their work was also to support the ministers in material things. Apart from that verse, we also have the words of Jesus in Matthew chapter 23, verses number 23, and Christ says the following: "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and faith. These you ought to have done without leaving the others undone." So Christ is charging upon the Pharisees and the scribes that they have left out important matters such as justice, mercy and faith, just to focus on tithe. You understand that? So Christ says, yes, of course you need to tithe, but you don't need to forget justice, mercy and faith. So from those verses, they say we need to support, and as long as there are people who are ministering to our spiritual need, it is also our duty to minister to their physical need. So you can't say that people should stop tithing. No, that's a lie. Changing God's truth into a lie, like the serpent, the devil, in the Garden of Eden, promising eternal life through the transgression of God's law. So tithing is another way to support the gospel, and we need to tithe. So if you are still in doubt,